and now working here. So, and we are ICR accredited. Our programs are accredited by ICR.
Oh.
Yeah.
In fact, I retired from Kerala Agricultural University in 2019 as Dean Agriculture College. Then in 2021, I joined as this chairman, Kerala State Biodiversity. It's a 3-year post.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Hello.
Good
Am
evening.
I audible, sir?
Yes,
Shall we
yes.
start the program, sir?
Oh, sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Respected chief guests of the session and our participants, I heartily welcome you all to the 3-day faculty development program organized by our organization, that is Just Agriculture, the Maxine. And it's my pleasure to announce that this program has been organized by our magazine with the collaboration of SGT University, Gurugram, which is ICR accredited university. So to begin with the program, to address us, we have with us today the Dean of the SGT University, Gurugram, Dr. Ashok Kumar. So, sir, are you there with us? Am I audible to you, sir? Sir, please unmute yourself. Ashok, sir, pardon me, please unmute yourself, sir. Yes, sir. No, I welcome you, sir, and over to you, sir, to address our participants and about the organization, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So, Honorable Dr. George Thomas, Chairman, Kerala State Biodiversity Board, and Paresh sir, Dr. Utkarsa, and fellow participants. So I think this FDP is very timely, and our speaker is well known in this area of research and publications. So everyone might be knowing that research planning is very important to have good results, and therefore one must prepare his hypothesis, null hypothesis, to test his findings. So planning, then carefully the procedure, or the methodology, how to do the research, and the techniques used in research, they are very important. And after that, collection of data, and then their analysis is very important for doing a good publication. So just I will share one example. Dr. George, once we were analyzing a number of data for osmotic adjustment in plants. So we were doing with many field crops like wheat, barley, chickpea, sorghum, and we just established one equation, or normal regression equation, A is equal to y is equal to A plus dx. And in all the data, we found that the genotypes which were having the slope factor B less than 0.3, they were highly osmotic adjustment lines. So careful analysis of the data is very important, so that we can make reliable conclusions. So, and also the effective communication to put those data in your words, so that the readers can understand. That is also very important. So for doing good research and good publications, so careful planning, collection of data, those things, they are very important. And today, I again welcome and thank Dr. George Thomas for guiding us and for speaking on these topics this evening. So thank you very much. And again, I thank Dr. Utkarsa also for giving me this opportunity to address our gatherings. So thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you so much for your insightful words, sir. So thank you so much. Now moving towards the session, For the first day of faculty development program on the constructive research methodology and successful publication, we have with us today Dr. C. George Thomas, sir, who is presently the chairman of Kerala State Biodiversity Board. Before inviting sir to deliver his talk, I would like to introduce our participants about the sir. So before joining the board, he was the Director of Research at the Integrated Rural Technology Center, Palakkad, Kerala. He was with the Kerala Agriculture University for a long time in various positions and retired as the Dean College of Agriculture, Velanikara, Thrissur. He held the post of Professor and Head in the Department of Agronomy as well. Sir, Dr. Thomas obtained MSc in Agriculture from Kerala Agriculture University and PhD from IERI, New Delhi. Sir has authored 18 books, over 400 other publications, including research papers, book chapters, and popular articles with national and international publishers. Sir has been a recipient of Karaksha Bharati Award, Best Farm Journalist of the Government of Kerala for his contributions towards the journalism. He is the author of the popular book Research Methodology and Scientific Writing, co-published by NA Books and New Delhi and Springer Nature. So we are extremely grateful to have you here, sir, today. On the behalf of the Dean, Dr. Ashok Kumar, on the behalf of Just Agriculture, as well as our participants. So, sir, on the behalf of our Dean Ashok Kumar, sir, our participants and our organization, I welcome you here, sir. And now it's my request you to join the podium and address us with your talk, sir. So thank you so much, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Ulkrisha. Dr. Ashok Kumar was introduced the topic and inaugurated this particular seminar. And all the participants who are here to participate in this seminar. And I am very happy that this Just Agriculture is involved in many kind of activities. Probably this may be only one among that. So I'm very happy to join. So occasionally, Dr. Ulkrisha called me and asked me to give a lecture. So I happily accept that, because even though I am now in Kerala State Biodiversity Board, so I have to recollect what I have taught during my professorship in College of Agriculture, Kerala Agriculture University. So thank you very much. So I will go straight away into the class now. So I will start with the presentation of my PPT. Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So here, what I am going to do is, I will just introduce something about the matrix, research matrix, then something about plagiarism, and also publishing ethics. Because in 1 year, 1 hour time, so I may just touch only. Of course, all these kind of things probably may be known to you, or you may need some additional inputs. So in that way, I have arranged this lecture. So I'll start with presenting one by one. So at the end of the class, if you want to clarify some of the point, so there will be some time also. Okay, so here, research metrics, plagiarism, and publishing ethics.
Sir, excuse
okay.
me, sir.
Yeah, right.
Sorry to disturb you, sir. So
Okay.
it's not in the slideshow mode. Can you put it in slideshow mode, sir?
Okay. So is it in the screen sharing mode? So whether the slides are changing?
Yeah, I think Dr. Karsa, I think this is very, clearly.
So it is changing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is not in slideshow mode, but it is all right. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
only this much.
Yes,
Right,
sir. You can, continue. Yes, sir.
Okay. I think the slides are in that old mode. That's why you may feel it as not full. Okay, so I have changed to first slide. So you can see this, isn't it? How will you assess a scientist? So, are you reading it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to assess a scientist, so there are some yardsticks. Normally, we count the total number of publications. That is one way of assessing. Second is total number of citations. Then another way is this H index, item index, etc. They are all new metrics. New metrics, they are not so new, but after 2010 or 2015, so this H index and item index became very popular. So nowadays, for most of the kind of things, like if you want to submit a book for a publication, probably by international booksellers, book publishers, they may ask you the H index of the author. And if your H index is less than 10, they may have a doubt. Okay, they may ask you for more information from you. So normally, an H index of 10 is considered as a somewhat average figure. But there are people who have got H index more than 100. Okay, so another one is item index. So I will go through, I'll come to this in detail later. So I am just introducing that for assessing a scientist. These are some of the methods available now. And another way, so if you want to increase your standing in the field. Okay, so
yeah, sir, click on that slide. Click on the second slide. Click. So it will appear. Yeah, click on that slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you reading it? How will you assess a scientist? So that is the second one. Yeah,
on second one, sir, put the cursor and click. So it will come on the screen.
Okay, now?
No, not now, sir. It is stuck on the first slide.
Oh, that is what I am asking. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will start again after putting an intro.
Yeah.
I think I will go back.
Yes, now it is on 5th. So go to the second, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll start again now. Is it second?
Yes, sir. Now it is on slide mode also. Yeah.
Okay, now it is moving, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
sir. I'm sorry. I'm very much sorry.
No, sir, it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it is.
Oh, so I was mentioning about this particular slide, total number of publications, total number of citations, H-index, item, etc. So this is the second slide. I'm going to the third one. Okay. So I was just mentioning how to create profiles in some of the most popular sites. Google Scholar, of course, you may be knowing. Then ResearchGate is a very popular something like Facebook. Facebook, of course, it's a very ordinary, not ordinary, it is a general social networking site, Facebook. But ResearchGate is a social networking site for students as well as scientists. And this particular one, Social Science Research Network, that is for especially for social scientists. But nowadays, they have also diversified to include other kind of researchers also. So try to open profiles in this very popular websites so that people will notice your work. So if they notice, they will start citing, they will start reading it, and they may also sometimes put it in tweets and so on. Well, coming back to research metrics. So these are some quantitative indicators or measures that provide some evidence of the impact of a research output. Okay, so you may have written a book, you may have written an article, sometimes it may have appeared in a conference presentation. So if it is there, probably it may be there in the library also, but in an era of internet, websites, online reading and so on, people should know that these kind of things are there or you have published. So there are various ways to assess the impact of such kind of things. So two related terms in addition to research metrics is bibliometrics and altmetrics. Altmetrics means alternate metrics. So we'll see that how this altmetrics is computed. And bibliometrics is mostly it is related to the library. There or library materials. Okay, so it is again the quantitative method of citation, content analysis, content analysis for scholarly journals, books, and researchers. So citation. So how many times your work has been cited, and how you will come across an index out of that, and what about its content, and the impact of that particular work on the work of others. So these kind of things are reflected in bibliometrics. And for example, for assessing the universities, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So they are there to assess universities, compare the universities based on some criteria. And for that criteria, sometimes they may ask, what is the H-index of your university? So you can also calculate the H-index of a particular department, H-index of an individual department, university, and so on. So these are part of the bibliometrics business. And some citation databases are helpful for these kind of things. They may have arrived at these kind of things automatically. You need not go for calculation with calculators and so on. So it will be readily available. So in Google Scholar, it is there because why I am stressing on Google Scholar is because it is a free website. So anybody can access this Google Scholar. But Web of Science and Scopus, they are subscription based. You have to pay money to get into that. So, but we have to study this Web of Science because it is the first one introduced all this kind of business. So it is a website owned by Clarivate Analytics. Earlier it was Thomson Reuters, and before that ISI. Now it is the Clarivate Analytics. So they provide subscription-based access to multiple database. That means you have to pay, you have to subscribe. Then only they will allow this. So if I click this, it is easy for you to go into that website. But so I'll just show that, not more than that, because we don't have time. Yeah, this is a Web of Science platform. So these kind of things you can access. And even if you want, you can also subscribe. Okay. Then the second one, this is owned by Elsevier. Web of Science is now owned by Clarivate Analytics. Scopus now owned by Elsevier. So it was launched in 2004. It is actually launched as a rival. Rival in the sense Elsevier is also a giant in the field of publishing. So they thought that they also want a separate platform. So they started Scopus. So here, if I click, we'll go to the Scopus homepage. Yeah. So information about their site is given here, and it is better to go to the sources page. So from where we can identify whether our journal in question is listed there. So it shows 44,737 list results. From there, you can identify, or you can see source title, site score. I'll tell you what is the meaning of site score. Then highest percentile, citation, document, and so on. Some more that is cited percentage. Then SNIP, SJR, publisher name, etc. are also given there. Okay. So this is versatile, very common. It's a freely accessible search engine. It's a part of Google, and it also got a cited by feature. And from a Google Scholar platform, you'll get total citation count, H-index, and item index. Now I will show you a very popular, or rather a very famous agriculture scientist who's recently was awarded some, he has been awarded, he's from Western Australia. He's a Malayali, my senior in college. So you can see here, the peculiarity is his total citation. You just see 46,000. H-index 110. Item index 583. That means you can assess his contribution. And his first paper, it has got more than 1,000 citations. You can imagine the impact of this particular scientist on various related areas. He's an agronomist, and he completed his PhD from MSc and PhD from Indian Agricultural Research Institute, graduated from College of Agriculture, Kerala Agriculture. And he's still working as a professor in University of Western Australia. I'm just telling you. So you'll get H-index, item index, and total citation count. And you can have journal level metrics and author level metrics. So if you consider the journal level metrics, that is with respect to journal, the respectability of a journal. So we'll start with impact factor, that is journal impact factor. And in India, we have NAS rating, National Academy of Agricultural Sciences. So they gave a rating because in India, most journals do not have an impact factor. And the site score, of course, that is from Elsevier. And I already mentioned this SJR, SNIP, hygiene factor, etc. They are all some other journal level metrics that I am not going to deal with it now because that may confuse you. So I'll just tell the first three. Then other level impact factors are also there. So I have mentioned something about H-index and item index now. Total number of publications, I already mentioned, total number of cited references, H-index, research gate. They also give a score. So I'll start with the journal impact factor. So it was started by Eugene Garfield in 1960s. So he started Institute for Scientific Information, that is ISI. Now it is part of climate analytics. So they produce this impact factor through their journal citation reports. So the problem is all these are subscription based. That means you have to pay. Otherwise you will not get, of course, this impact factor. So if somebody asks what is the impact factor of a particular journal, that you can get it from internet. So other kind of things are subscription based. So how will you calculate the impact factor for 2022? Because you cannot calculate it for 2023 because 2023 now is going on. So only after completion of 2023, you can calculate impact factor or IF for 2023. So for calculating for 2022, so we have to count total number of citations of a particular journal in 2022. To articles that were published in a journal in 2020 and 2021. So that will go to the denominator, and then the numerator, that acts total number of citations will be there. And in the denominator, articles published in the previous 2 years. So that will give you an impact factor of a particular journal. And what NAS is doing, so it is based on this impact factor. So each journal is assessed for a maximum of 20 points. And its relative weightage is indicated by assigning appropriate points against each journal. So what they do is, they classify the journals in India into two categories: impact factor journals and non-impact factor journals. Okay, so for those journals without impact factor, without a traditional Web of Science inclusion, they give a points from 1 to 6. And the journals with impact factor, they were assigned a place from 6.1 to 20. So it starts with the 6. So for instance, if a particular journal, its impact factor is 0.1, just impact factor 0.1. So 0.1 plus 6, 6.1 would be its NAS rating. So site score. So I told you it's an improvement, or rather it was introduced by Elsevier as a competitor. So it was introduced in 2016. So it is just to counter the JF of Clarivate Analytics, and they says it's a 4-year, they use a 4-year time window. So citations are counted from the day an article is published. Okay. So here you can see the site score 2022. That A means citations to articles published in 2012 to 2022. That means 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022 at the end of December. And denominator B, articles published in 2019 to 2022. And they claim that site score is superior to journal impact factor because they have taken a bigger time window. As I told you, cited references means it is just a number. It's featured in certain online databases such as Google Scholar. So at the end of a particular article, when you refer, that will show you how many citations are there. So that is cited references. So each Google Scholar result, in addition to showing bibliographic details, will have a feature that is cited by. Okay. So this Web of Science and Scopus and ResearchGate also feature cited references in addition to Google Scholar. Okay, so there are some additional websites are also there which shows cited references. So all of them I haven't listed here. I already mentioned H-index. I am trying to give some more information on H-index because that is very important nowadays. So if somebody asks, what is the meaning of H in H-index? We can say it stands for Hirsch because he is the person who is responsible for H-index. That's why he was a physicist and is introduced this H-index. We can also say H stands for highly cited. Okay. So it gives a measure of the number of articles, that is H of another, that have received at least H citations up to that time. Okay, so probably by reading that definition, you may not get that idea. I'll show you with an example. So simply an H-index of 10. What is its meaning? It would mean that that particular author has 10 articles that have received at least 10 citations each. So he may have more than 10 articles, probably 20 articles or 30 articles. But out of that, 10 articles has citations of more than 10. That is its meaning. And here again, several sources such as Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar, ResearchGate, etc. calculate H-index, and this H-index may not be uniform because their database may be different. For example, Web of Science, their database is very restricted, only around 20,000 sources, and Scopus, the sources are about 40,000, and Google Scholar, there again the sources are different. So is the case with the ResearchGate. So here it is an example of calculation of H-index to buttress the point a little bit clear. So what we'll do is we will rank the documents. So I have already shown a Google Scholar page of one scientist. There, the documents are ranked according to its citations. The largest citation will come first, and it goes on. Here you see, you just rank the documents, 1, 2, 3, 4. So citations 28, 26, 21, 19, 15, 11, 8, then again 8, then again. So it decreases like that. So what does our definition say? It's a measure of the number of articles H of an author that have received at least H citation up to that time. So here we can note that 8 is the H-index of that particular individual. That means this scientist, he has 8 articles that have more than 8 citations. That is the meaning of H-index. Okay, the second and third columns are there for calculating H-index, but that I am not describing it now. So this is the H-index of a particular scientist, or we can say scientist 1. So I'll show you a second scientist who has got total number of citations more than this particular individual. See here, scientist 2. So here, first ranked article, it has got 200 citations. Second, 100 citations. 3, 50, 4, 30, 5, 10. And then, after 8, no citation at all. But he has written more than 21 articles. But there are articles with no citation at all. So as a result, what happened? His H-index is just 6. Or we can say his has only 6 articles that has got more than 6 citations. So that is H-index. Now come to Icar index. It is simply a number. It's very easy. Icar index has been created by Google Scholar as an alternate author level metric to H-index. It's a whole number indicating the number of publications of a particular scientist with at least 10 citations. Simply that. How many articles have got a minimum 10 citations? That is the meaning of item index, and that is there only in Google Scholar. You will not see item index in any other databases. Then I mentioned about ResearchGate. That is something like Facebook, but Facebook is for commoners, for all the people, but ResearchGate is for scientists. It is again something like a social science social platform. So they also have a research interest score. So that is based on number of publications, citation, reads, recommendation, questions asked. And so these are the ResearchGate. They have a question answer session. You can ask questions and people answers. And sometimes as a scientist, some others follow. And I'm sure many of you are already members of ResearchGate, and it is free. Anybody can join. Then now I already mentioned about altmetrics. So it is a new way of reading the impact of the papers, scientists, books, and so on. Okay, so it shows the immediate impact of research works in a social domain. So you publish a paper or you publish a book, and there may be mention of that book in social platforms, newspapers, article review, and so on. Some days in Twitter, Wikipedia, and there's a mechanism with a weighted average to arrive at a figure that will show you how far your work has got some impact. So Facebook, Twitter, Wikipedia, blogs, Mendeley, even mentioned by Mendeley, that has been taken into consideration, and there are several websites that will give you altmetrics. So altmetric.com, Impact Story, Reader Meter, Science Card, PLOS, Impacts Explorer. In fact, PLOS is an immensely popular platform for online journal publication. Paper Critic, Chronometer, Plum, etc. So I'll show you an example of altmetrics.com. So altmetrics.com. So it's a data science. It's again, there are money involved, it's a commercial site, and that will gather information mentioned in online blogs, publishers, funders, and other organizations, and they will give a figure. So as an example, I'll show you the altmetrics for my book, Research Methodology and Science Writing, published by Springer. Okay. I'll go to that. Yeah. So this book publishers, the AnyBooks in India, it is being published by AnyBooks, and this is the international edition. So you just see the accesses, how many people have accessed this particular book. So it is showing 81K, that means 81,000 people. And citation means total number of citations is more than 100, but this particular publication is from 2021, and for the international edition. And another value, 158 altmetrics. Okay, it's a figure, altmetrics. I'll just click this altmetrics. Let's see. So it is showing a donut. This particular round figure is called a donut, and each color represents material from various sources. 295 details, 2 Wikipedia pages, 16 dimensions, and 1 Facebook page. Okay, so I'll just click this Wikipedia page. Just show you an example. So if as we are not having that much time, what happened? So far, Altmetric has seen 2 citations on Wikipedia pages. Yeah, these two. Okay, these two are mentioned in Wikipedia. And biodata, my book has been mentioned. The first one, Thomas E. George, Research Method and Scientific Writing. So like this is just an example, don't worry. Okay. So, yeah. So each color represents the light blue, Twitters, and this dark blue, Facebook, and this light black, it is for Wikipedia, in a similar way. And red is not shown there, that is for the newspaper. So its color, the donut color may change. So international publishers, they make use of this altmetrics also to sell their products. So in Indian authors, they do not have this kind of mechanisms. Probably in future, they may also subscribe to, only if they subscribe to this altmetrics.com, they'll get this kind of things. Okay. Then the second category, so metrics, that part is over. Now I'm going to tell you something about predatory and low impact journals. So how will you identify predatory journals? So nowadays, all are concerned about predatory journals, quality journals, high impact journals. So use of misleading words. Sometimes they may start with the international, global, world journal, Asian, American, etc. and titles, while the journal lack the international scope and editorial board. So if you go through the editorial board or contents, you will understand that this international is a misnomer. Sometimes the journal titles combine 2 or more subjects or disciplines, something like science and technology. If I say science and technology, anything under the sun, anything under science and technology can be included. So nothing specific. Then no contact details of publisher and editor are provided. Then payment mechanism. Payment mechanism, they demand money at the initial stage itself. But there are some international journals, they also demand money, but only after that peer reviewing process. That is a major difference between these two. Then some other characteristics: false location of the office of the publisher and editors, lack of information on the editorial board members, lack of information about the frequency of periodicals, journal serials, then fraudulent or improper use of ISSNs and logos of standard publishers, and many editors are unaware of the inclusion of their names or editorial boards. And sometimes they will say impact factor, Copernicus impact factor, some weird terminology they may be using. And sometimes they may say impact factor more than 10. And if you specifically check this particular journal, it may not have nothing of that impact factor. It may not have that such kind of credibilities. And these are some checklists to identify predatory journals. You first check the ISSN, International Standard Series number, then publisher address, editor address, impact factor. You check with the original source, indexing databases, whether it is having a indexation, credibility of editors, publication in a short duration of time. That is impossible. Sometimes they'll say they will publish it within 3 days or 1 week. Then journal back volumes, whether they are available. Then annual listing of reviewers. These are some of the mechanisms. And in India, having confronted with this kind of forgery by students as well as scientists and publishers, UGC, they have come out with a checklist. So they have come out with a UGC care list. And if the journal is excluded from the list, it might be a predatory journal. So that is an easy way of finding out an predatory journal. So they have UGC has a consortium for academic and research ethics. It's called CARE, Consortium for Academic and Research Ethics. And so it is operated from Pune, University of Pune. That is that UGC CARE Uni Pune is written there. So a major objective of CARE is to prevent publication in predatory and dubious journal. And it has got two lists, Group 1 and Group 2. So I'll just enter into that page of University of Pune or UGC CARE. Let us see. Yeah, University Grants Commission. So anybody can become a member. You can log in. So UGC CARE Group 1 and Group 2 are there. Group 2 is there. Then UGC CARE list Group 1. Click search. So you just type the name of the journal, and it will tell you whether it comes under Group 1 or Group 2. So UGC CARE Group 2. Group 1 means, so that has been listed by following the UGC norms. Okay, so it has got certain norms to include under that. And UGC CARE list Group 2. So here, they will primarily look whether these journals are indexed in globally recognized databases. So which are the globally recognized databases? We already mentioned Web of Science and Scopus. So Web of Science, it has got 3 subsections: Arts and Humanities Citation Index, Science Citation Index Expanded, and Social Science Citation Index. So if your journal in question is listed any of these, it's a UGC approved journal. And again, you may check Scopus source list also. There again, if your journal is listed there, it's an approved journal. And they have delisted some journals from group to the. You have to check that particular group also, whether that means they have delisted journals from group 2. Not many are there because of some improper way of doing things. So I'll just go through this N citation index expand. Let's see. You just click. So here you can search by putting the name of the journal, or you can go one by one, whether your journal in question is there in the database of Science Citation Index expanded. That's one way. Oh, just go back. Sorry. So similarly, if you're from Arts and Humanities Index, there you can change, or Social Sciences, there again you can check, or you can check Scopus sources also. I told you only some 20,000 journals are listed in Web of Science, but about 40,000 are there in Scopus. So these Scopus index journals are also approved by UGC. Here some 44,000. Okay, so you can check whether your journal in question is included in Scopus. You can type subject area, enter subject area. So you can find out whether your journal in question is under Scopus. Okay. Then UGC CARE list Group 1. So for that, you have to enter. So this is my user ID, password, etc. With that, I am entering. Let us see. Okay, there may be a problem. If that problem persists, I will not go into that. Okay, sorry. I'm not remembering the user ID. No. Anyway, I hope you got the message clearly that you have to register. You will get using a user ID, password, etc. Then you can log in. So I am going back. Okay, so journal, yeah. UGSCare list group 2, UGSCare list group 1, then open access journals. So remember the open access journals. So publishing in open access journal is a sure way of getting more citation and more readership. So they are research journals that are freely available on the internet. So if somebody asks you to pay money for accessing, you may not do that, isn't it? So only peer-reviewed open access journals qualify as valid publication. That means this peer review mechanism should be there. Otherwise, your paper will not be counted as a valid publication. And a welcome change or a major attraction is it enables free access to research papers. It lowers the cost for research in both public funded institutions and private concern. And you will get high citation rate because people are reading it freely. So some open access journals from India, most of the journals by ICR, not most, all by Indian Council of Agricultural Research and Indian Academy of Sciences. They are all open access journals. And there is a directory also for open access journals, that is DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journals. And check whether it has a DOI, Digital Object Identifier. That is again a measure of its genuineness and prestige. So this DOI is provided by DOI Foundation. So you have to approach that DOI Foundation to get this DOI. Then something about research misconduct. So here comes the plagiarism. Okay, so research misconduct involves not only plagiarism, falsification, fabrication, etc. Fabrication means simply copying. So when you produce a thesis, when you produce a research paper, so if you are copying, if you are reproducing the results of somebody else, that's a clear case of fabrication. Sometimes you just falsify your finding. Okay. Then plagiarism is somewhat different from this. So all these kind of things comes under research misconduct. So it is defined as publication, falsification, or plagiarism in proposing, performing, or reviewing research, or in reporting research results. So what is plagiarism now? Fabrication, falsification, etc. From the very name, you may understand the meaning. So plagiarism is the action of an individual misappropriating someone else's intellectual work, such as ideas, opinions, art designs, or writing, as such, or in a modified form, and passing them off as his, her own original work with or without permission. So that means after going through a particular article or a book, sometimes if you are copying sentences, paragraphs, assets, and use it for your work, that is a clear case of plagiarism. Sometimes you may also take ideas. In such cases also, if you are not acknowledging the source, that is the meaning of the citation. So you have to cite. Okay, that is called plagiarism. There are different types of plagiarism. So authors must ensure that the book or article you write does not infringe upon any trademark, patent, statutory rights, and proprietary rights of others. So here, copyright is also a problem. Copyright, and sometimes, after 120 years or so, some publishers, they reproduce materials. So that is allowed. So because the duration of copyright for authors is life of the author plus 60 years after her death. So after that, that book comes under the public domain. Anybody can publish that book. Okay, but if somebody copy information from such books and use it for their works without acknowledging, then that's a clear case of plagiarism. And another term is also there, piracy. Piracy involves when copyright infringement is there. So a copyrighted material, if you are reproducing as a book or as an article, simply and distributing it for money, that's a case of piracy. Okay, and if you get permission for reproduction and then you are using it for your own work, then it is called piracy. So if you use copyrighted or non-copyright, both involves, as such or in a partially changed form by putting your name on it, as though it is your creation, it is plagiarism. So these types, some of you may have already come across. Direct plagiarism, that means it's simply a measure of copy all paragraphs or long passages from another source. That is a case of direct plagiarism. If you are using that, you have to use quotation mark and you have to mention the source. Paraphrase plagiarism, that means imperfect. So a method to avoid plagiarism is paraphrasing. So paraphrasing softwares are nowadays available. But if that is an imperfect form, that will also come from plagiarism. So if the author paraphrase or restates a part of someone else's work, but without citing the source, that's a paraphrase plagiarism. Then mosaic plagiarism is sometimes, if you here and there, if you use synonyms, and general structure of the work remains, that's a case of mosaic. Here and there, you may have changed, but on the whole, it almost resembles the original work. The insufficient acknowledgement. So the author may have mentioned the original source, but they may not have cited the source suitably. That is insufficient acknowledgement, only in one place or two places, but the major chunk goes unacknowledged. That's the case of insufficient acknowledgement. Then complete plagiarism. So if you copy an article as such, sometimes this happens in the assignment. The students, they copy the article written by a bright student. So that's a case of complete plagiarism. And in foreign countries, if you are caught, if the assignments are written like this, so there what they do is they subject this assignment for a plagiarism checking software, and if found, the results are disastrous. Sometimes they may expel the students. That happen in foreign countries. So here in India, we take a lenient view. That lenient view cannot continue for long. Okay, sometimes students may not be knowing about this kind of plagiarism, copying, etc. Self-plagiarism. This occurs when the author uses his own previous work. Sometimes some students, or some researchers, they produce umpteen number of research papers from a thesis work. by citing again, by using the same tables, etc. So that is a case of self-plagiarism without mentioning that they have been published before. Then accidental plagiarism. So accidental means you may not be knowing, or you may not have a real intention for this. So neglecting to cite the sources, misquoting the sources, or inadvertently using the source by similar words, groups of words, or sentence structure without attribution. So that accidental, there are several mechanisms to avoid accidental plagiarism. You may not be knowing. It may not be purposeful. Okay. So most of the instructions given is to avoid accidental plagiarism. You may not be knowing whether it is plagiarism. Sometimes some students say, I am unable to paraphrase my material. So that is a case of inadvertent plagiarism. These kind of things we can rectify by suitably instructing how to avoid plagiarism. So how to avoid unintentional plagiarism? If it is intentional, it is very difficult to change. Okay. In the case of unintentional, language proficiency is a prerequisite. You should know how to paraphrase material. You should know how to summarize material. Okay. So that is it. Okay. Then why do people commit plagiarism? Procrastination. That means shifting or postponing the work to the last day. So submission of assignment, maybe Monday. So the student may not have completed even by Saturday. So what finally he will do? He will just copy. That's a case of procrastination. That will happen in thesis writing and article writing also. So inadequate time for preparation, poor writing skills, no other way. You have to improve your writing skills. Pressure to produce publication. That's why we go for self-plagiarism. You produce maximum out of it. But if it is caught, if you are caught, the results are disastrous. Ignorance about the implications of plagiarism. You take it lightly. Oh, what will happen even if I am caught? That sort of attitudes. And you should know that plagiarism checking software are now available, and if caught, the results would be disastrous. Okay, there are various plagiarism checking softwares, both free as well as priced. So therefore, never try to publish and perish. So there are regulations on plagiarism. International bodies are there, Committee of Publication Ethics, the European Association of Science Editors, the World Association of Medical Editors, the Council of Science Editors. They have their own mechanism for research conduct and publication ethics. And in India, there are regulations on plagiarism by UGC. So UGC says there should be a departmental academic integrity panel, institutional academic integrity panel, and all sorts of things. And if problems arise, or if complaints arise, how to deal with it. A gazette notification is already there with the regulations. So I am not going to this. This is that regulation, or what you call the gazette notification. So these are some of the plagiarism detection tools. The first three: identicate, Turnitin, Urkun. These three are priced plagiarism detection tools. So in most of the universities, they have installed Identicate or Turnitin, and UGC recommend Urkun. So, all these three are priced. Then there are some free or partially free softwares are also there. So this duplicate checker. So even up to 1,000 words, it is free. And if it is more than 1,000, they ask for subscription again. So CopyLeaks, PaperWriter, Plagiarism Checker, Plagium, PlagScan, PlagTracker, QText, Viper, etc. So up to some extent, they will lend you free. But again, their database is somewhat low when compared to the first three. So authenticate, turn it in Urkun. What they do is they just compare your material with material in the web. So if it is free means they may not have access to probably Web of Science publication or publication which are subscription based. So they will go through only to the free publications available in the net. That is the problem with these free softwares. Otherwise, for example, DupliChecker. If DupliChecker is not able to access papers which are subscription based, then that will give you a figure devoid of that. Okay. Well, now, see the plagiarism detection softwares, if you are using, that will generate an originality report. And if a match is found between a submitted work and an existing one, the software highlight the matching test and tell you, okay, this is similar, and sometimes you can change that. Okay. And you should understand that all cases of plagiarism cannot be detected through a plagiarism detection tool. So what is required is scientific honesty and ethical behavior. So if you have stolen an idea, okay, so you visited a laboratory, a particular scientist is doing a work. Okay, so if you secretly go into the methodology of that particular instrument, not instrument, or if that a new instrument is being prepared or fabricated. Okay, sometimes you can steal information like that from a laboratory. And if you are not acknowledging the original scientist, that is a case of plagiarism, or you can even say a case of fraud. So my idea is, even if you are using a plagiarism detection software, one cannot detect this kind of behavior. That is why I mentioned it here. That is, what is required is scientific honesty and ethical behavior when dealing with the works of others. So I think we can wind up our discussion now. Then some measures are also there. This is general one. Get familiar with the good academic practices and try to become a diligent and conscientious scholar. Use appropriate language and learn to paraphrase properly. Learn to use quotation marks correctly. These are some general instructions only. Okay. And these are some of the popular techniques to avoid plagiarism. Acknowledge sources appropriately, paraphrasing, direct and indirect quotation, summarizing, evaluation of text, then finally use of plagiarism checking software. So this is my book. It is available from. So this is Indian edition. It is cheap. That international edition is somewhat very costly. If anybody wants to purchase, just I'll show you that Amazon site also. Yeah. So now paperback edition is available now. So it is available in hardback and paperback format. A Kindle edition is also there. That is originally from International Springer. That is costly. So nowadays it is available with that paperback edition also. Just to inform you, that's all. Okay, so after going through the lecture, so there are these three epithets or sayings are there in academic institutions like colleges and universities: publish or perish. That means if you are not able to produce maximum number of publications, your future as a scientist is in jeopardy, in trouble. You will not get not much promotion. Okay, so you have to publish. Okay, right. Then publish and perish, the second one. Here, this publish and perish means if you publish materials with plagiarist materials, with fraud materials, the chances are that you may perish, you will not get any promotion, you will get a disrespect among academic community, and so So what is required is you publish good materials, good quality materials, and flourish in your career and make a mark as a scientist or a teacher. Thank you. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation, sir. It was indeed a nice talk to listen to you. And I think our participants must have learned and enjoyed your session. So now it's my humble request to all the participants, if they have any questions, so they can put in the chat box.
So everything is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
To me,
Just
it was clear, sir. Actually, I really enjoyed your talks.
Because you have been hearing it for for the last 1 or 2 years, isn't it?
No, maybe it's like that, sir. I have gone through your book as well, sir. So it was
Good.
really wonderful
Very good.
like,
Very
talk
good.
from your side, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So to all the participants, it is my request. If you have any question, we can put in the chat box, or you can directly ask to sir.
Karsha?
Good evening, everyone. Hello, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. It was indeed a wonderful session. So heartiest congratulations to sir and to the team. Wonderful session. I guess I'm not left with any questions.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wonderful session, sir.
Oh, thank you.
So dear participants, any other comments or any other questions from your side if you have? Sir, in the chat box, people are putting thank you for you, sir.
Oh, okay. 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 I am expressing my gratefulness to the people who will listen to me. Not much to add.
Sir, our this session is going live streamed on YouTube as well. So if we'll be getting some questions on this topic from that comments or somewhere, so we will be mailing you, sir, and we'll be asking you through email, sir.
Oh, sure.
Yes, sir. So I guess there are no more questions from the participants. So thank you for such a wonderful session, sir. On the behalf of our participants and our organization, I am very grateful to you. And we would like to listen to you on some other topic on some other day as well. So
okay. You
yes,
inform me accordingly. I will
yes,
try
yes,
my
sir.
best.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sparing your valuable time, sir. I personally enjoyed the session very much, sir. And thank you so much for participating with us.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I am leaving now. Okay.
Yes,
right.
sir. Yes, sure, sir. So, dear participants, this is all for today. I shall call it a day for today, and tomorrow we shall meet again with other new sessions. So, thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, sir.